welcome to our newest edition of the Bang Bang Tang podcast. I'm Frank.
I'm Bryan.
Joining you here in our first wintry night in Canton, Ohio. Snow came down pretty good today, and it dropped to about 20 degrees. So we are cold as shit. I guess first and foremost, do a little bit of house cleaning. I apologize for last week.
He wins frittata of the week, everybody.
I really do. We shouldn't even have a contest this week. First and foremost, I apologize for not turning my mic on. That was stupid, and I don't know how I didn't notice it until the very end. And second thing I apologize for is not putting up the poll so that we could determine who the frittata of the week was between Charlie from the Santa Claus and Ralphie from Christmas Story. So it's a tie.
No, you win.
I win?
You win. You were the draw, and Frank Wingrove is frittata of the week.
Oh, you know what? Yeah.
Footnote.
No, that will go down the record books of the podcast that for episode 3 I was frittata. So congrats. Yay
congrats
me.
To you. What do you win?
I get tattooed on my forehead to turn your fucking mic on whenever you report a cod. What?
Rewind that and try again,
What?
sir.
I fucking stroking out on episode 4.
You're trying to make a case for yourself for 2 weeks in a row, aren't you?
Fuck me.
Sir, we understand it's a good award, but don't try for 2 weeks in a row.
I'm just so excited.
That's going to get you in trouble.
All right. Well, since we figured out who the last week's winner is, of course, granted, I remember to put up the poll. We got to determine who this week's winner is going to be. So I will leave it to you to start with your nominee.
My nominee for this week is the New England Patriots. Now, they've got many reasons why they could be frittata of the week, but one specific one that really just threw them to me as frittata of the week is, I think it was a week ago or 2 weeks ago, where they went into overtime.
Mm-hmm.
They had the coin toss.
Oh, yeah.
And the Patriots won the coin toss.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you know to always pick receive.
Yeah.
They picked kick.
Yeah.
And then once the players realized that they said kick, they looked around like, does that mean we get the ball?
What? I didn't see that.
Yes.
I didn't hear that part.
The player looked at the ref and said, that means we get the ball, right? When in the history of football has kick meant I get the ball? So then it led to them losing to the Jets in overtime because they chose to kick in overtime.
See, I was under the impression that they meant to do it. That was a calculated risk by Bill Belichick.
That was the excuse then they came up with, was that it was part of the plan. Oh. But if you look at the player's face after he said, oh yeah, you're kicking the ball, that was not part of the plan whatsoever.
Oh, that makes it so much sweeter.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Because I was just happy knowing that they fucked up that bad.
Oh, yeah. So that is my frittata of the week.
That's fair. It's going to be a football-heavy episode.
That is fine.
I'm just throwing that out there. Because, first and foremost, my frittata of the week is Jimmy Haslam, or the Cleveland Browns.
The whole organization.
Now, notably this week, as some of you may have heard, the Steelers beat the Browns, as we all kind of figured they would.
What a surprise.
But then, almost immediately following the game, the reports coming out that it would happen is that GM Ray Farmer and head coach Mike Pettin were immediately fired. I get Farmer. I was A-okay with Farmer. I understood why he had to go. Worst draft selections, maybe of all time.
I was even more mad when they came out and said we could have had Odell Beckham Jr.
Yeah.
But we did not take him.
You could have had anyone. You could have had Teddy Bridgewater. You could have had Blake Bortles. You could have had
Sammy Watkins.
Anyone better than Gilbert and Manziel.
Which you hear they're done with Manziel.
I did hear that. So I'll give him 1 brownie point for finally admitting that Manziel was a mistake.
Late. No, it's too late for him to try and decide that.
But to fire Mike Pettin, who's 5th coach in I don't know how many years now.
Which is half their problem. You get a losing one season, and you fire your coach right away. You can't get chemistry with your team and head coach because you keep switching head coaches left and right, thinking that is your main problem.
And it's not even his fault this year.
No.
Last year they did pretty well. It's not his fault this year. He was stuck with a patched together team. I mean, even the quarterbacks that they wanted to start out with were so subpar, not even ready.
Well, injury, and then they didn't know who they were going to start, and then when they started somebody, there was off the field issues, and then someone got hurt, and then receivers got in trouble with drugs, and then they got hurt, and
or
then
just didn't play.
You're paying one receiver so much money, and he's not even playing.
$165,000 per yard.
What a waste.
That's what it broke down to. Dwayne Bowe made $165,000 a yard.
Well, he didn't get that many yards, so
56
yards.
56
That's still
yards.
enough. That's still enough. All right.
So again, but that's Ray Farmer and Jimmy Haslam. I felt so bad for Coach Pettin. I really did.
I really hope for the Browns organization they don't get Chip Kelly.
I hope not.
He's a college coach. He's not a pro coach. And knowing Chip Kelly, he'll get rid of all the decent players.
But even still, why? Well, just the black ones.
Yeah. You went there. I was going to say it, but I was like, forget it.
But why would you? If you claim that you want redemption, if you claim that you're going through this whole stringent process to find the exact right head coach for your team, why would you go with a guy who literally just failed in the NFL rather than going with someone who hasn't even proved themselves yet that you don't know what they could do? I hate the fact that that's probably going to be our option because it sucks that we're always the test tube when it comes to coaches in the NFL.
It's where careers go to die, pretty much, is in Cleveland.
But I would much rather have that than someone I know has already failed, that we somehow think that, we have everything that they need to succeed.
Another thing I heard, Miami Dolphins are interviewing Shanahan.
Yeah.
Mike Shanahan. Where's Cleveland? Why can't we jump on that? I'm not going to say we. For the record, I'm not even a Browns fan.
Yeah.
But I'm close enough to the city that I have to care a little bit.
Well, that's because you gave up. You did. I mean, you cared to a point.
Oh, and I was never a Browns fan.
And then
Let's put the record out there. I was never a Browns fan.
But then you admitted that you quit caring altogether.
Oh, yeah.
Because they were so far gone.
Oh, yeah. I quit caring about them. Because it's one of those teams where they're so awful that you kind of feel sorry for them. You just want them to do something. Oh, just for once, you want them to just do something.
Yeah.
And they keep disappointing you year after year. My solution? Move them to L.A.
No.
Get rid of them.
I don't want it.
They're a headache.
They are, but they're our headache.
It's a tumor now. What are we talking about?
And because of Haslam, you have good players like Joe Thomas. Mm-hmm. That article came out and says that maybe he doesn't necessarily want to be here anymore, and I don't blame him.
I don't blame any of the good players that are there for going.
And I don't blame any person that they want to interview for head coach for not taking it, because who would want that job?
I certainly wouldn't.
So,
even if I was a brand new rookie coach, that would say, hey, I'll take any job that comes to me. If the Cleveland Browns showed up on my phone to call me and say, you want the job? I'd be like, no, I can't do it.
Well, and is it just me, or does it seem really backwards that you would want the head coach to be a deciding factor in who your GM is? Because, I mean, generally, your GM should outlast the head coach.
Yeah, I don't get his thought process in that, saying, oh, we're going to hire a new head coach, and from there, we will then choose a GM.
Yeah.
That's backwards.
Now, if you had a coach like, I think Mike Holmgren was kind of like this, where they acted as head coach and a GM, kind of,
right?
Where they had the power to kind of make all the calls when it came to the team. Fine.
Which then that also lets me believe they're opening it up to Chip Kelly.
You think?
He wants to control the team and be the head coach, make all the decisions of who's playing, who's not playing, who he can get rid of, who he can draft, who he can do, all that stuff. He did it with the Eagles.
Yeah.
Cleveland is opening the door for him, probably saying, here you go.
Oh, I hope not. Really hope not. Yeah. But it'll probably happen because Jimmy Haslam, and that is why he is my frittata of the week. So, a shitty Patriots call and a shitty team owner are your choices this week.
What a shitty frittata.
So, granted, I remember, which I will this week, you can head to our Twitter account and vote for either, what was that, week 16 New England Patriots?
I want to say it was week 15. Because this was just week 16.
Yeah.
So week 15, I think they played the Jets.
So week 15, New England Patriots or Cleveland Browns owner Jimmy Haslam. And hopefully not me.
Not you again. Or me, because you never know. It could happen.
I hope this is my final time on the frittata list.
One and done.
All right, so we move on to tasty foods. Talk a little shove it in my mouth.
Good old tasty foods.
And I'll go first. I saw this on Facebook a couple days ago. It was an advertisement, and I about shit my pants through my dick when I read what it was.
Is it bad that I somehow was trying to get a visual?
You visualized it.
Like an ice cream soft serve machine. It's just disturbing to even think about.
It's so white and creamy.
Ew. That's gross. I don't even want to think about that.
Well, when you hear what it is, you too will shit through your dick.
I hope not, but go ahead.
Arby's, finally, I believe trying to compete with Wendy's on this, which is fine, are finally coming out with loaded curly fries. So they're delicious, crispy, seasoned curly fries on a plate, smothered in cheddar cheese sauce, bacon bits, and ranch.
I wonder, though, can you get it without the ranch?
I would hope so.
I mean, I'm good with just the cheese and the bacon on it. I don't need the ranch.
I don't know why ranch. I don't know why you would go with ranch over sour cream or something.
I was going to say, put sour cream on the side and we'll call it. But either way.
No, it sounds amazing.
More reasons to get fat off of Arby's. If there wasn't already reasons. One, it's my number one favorite fast food place.
Of course.
But now you throw this in my face?
Oh, my God.
I'll take my money.
It's the number one thing you didn't realize you wanted.
Right.
I mean, because you were just happy. You were happy with
just curly fries,
Arby's curly fries.
Which I got cheese sauce on the side and I dipped it in anyway.
Yeah.
But now you're telling me you're putting the cheese on top and throwing bacon?
That's fan service.
On the delicious curly fries already? I'm sold.
It's like they're talking to you. They're like, hey, Bryan. Mm-hmm. What's up? It's Arby's. Mm-hmm. We know you always get cheese sauce with your fries anyways. Let us put that on there for you.
My body is yours. Do with me what you will.
No, and I think the article I read said that they're going to be like $3.
That's it.
Which is not bad.
What's the size of it, though?
See, I don't know.
Is it going to be the equivalent of Wendy's, where it's not that large? It looks like you took a small fry and just put cheese and bacon on it.
It could. I hope it's more like Rally size. If you ever had Rally's loaded fries.
Rally's fries on their own is good, too.
Absolutely. So I think it'll be something like that. Rally's fries is like a box.
Yeah.
So I think you actually get like a large fry, the equivalent.
And that's only $3?
Yeah.
All right.
So let's hope for...
Guys, podcast over. I'm going to Arby's.
My wife actually had the thought that... Because I was hungry. Because we haven't eaten yet. She's like, I can just get you some loaded Arby's fries and you guys just eat them during the segment. And I said, yes, if there's one thing that people love on the internet when they listen to podcasts, is hearing people eat.
Hearing people chew and groan and moan over delicious
and
fries.
Shit out their dicks, which I'm sure has a really interesting noise.
I don't like an ice cream soft serve machine.
Up against denim.
Up against denim or whatever you're wearing.
All right, what you got?
I decided to stay local.
Mm-hmm.
I looked up interesting baseball ballpark foods.
Oh, yes.
So we have the Akron Rubber Ducks,
mm-hmm.
which is a minor league team to the Cleveland Indians.
Very familiar.
They have quite a few different interesting foods that they have
mm-hmm.
put together. So I just decided to pick one. Being it's cold outside, it made me think of ice cream. Not to think of your soft serve shitting out your dick.
But now you will.
But now you will. This thing's called the Screamer.
Mm-hmm.
It is a 5-pound sundae served in a full-size keepsake Akron Rubber Ducks batting helmet.
What the fuck?
Featuring 21 scoops of hand-dipped ice cream, a pound of crumbled brownie, 4 whole bananas, hot fudge, and sprinkles.
Oh my god.
Now, I've seen this thing.
Yeah.
And I've wanted to try and tackle it, but I just can't go about even getting it. Because I'd look like a complete failure for not finishing it.
Yeah, it sounds like the Mark McGuire of banana split sundaes.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, yeah, like literally you just see the human growth hormone floating on top of it.
The amount of brain freeze you'll get from that, too.
Man. 5 pounds.
5 pounds.
And it fills a helmet.
And it actually overflows the helmet.
Oh, man. Yeah, we got to get that next time.
Oh, I'm definitely going to try.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
Especially on a nice hot day, just watching baseball.
Yeah.
You get this giant 5-pound batting helmet full of ice cream.
Oh, but if you don't get that in time... Have you ever wanted a hat full of just milky cream?
Oh, yeah, I got plenty of hats. You know how many times I just took a scoop of ice cream and threw it in there?
Has it always been a thing where it seems like ballparks are trying to come up with these crazy menu items?
Well, from what I've heard, they have awards for best, unique food at ballparks.
Really?
Or things like that. They have awards, so they try and make all of these weird concoctions and things like that, and people vote on them, and then they pick who has the best.
There are some good ones.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen some lists.
Oh, yeah.
Which, maybe next episode we'll tap into that. But
the Rubber Ducks have 4 alone.
Really?
Unique foods. That's including the Screamer. They have 4 unique.
And we've been there, multiple times, and we haven't tried any of it.
That's because I'm so worried about, let's just get my seat, and then you just get the basic hot dog for $2.
That's true.
Whereas I think the Screamer alone, I want to say, is about $15 to $20.
Probably at least.
Yeah, because you're paying for the helmet, you're paying for the ice cream, the brownie, the bananas, all that. I mean...
Major question. If you get it, do you share?
Depends on how hungry you are. If you think you could tackle it on your own, don't share until you tap out.
Yeah.
But if you feel like, I'm not going to eat the whole thing, yes, you can share.
I would probably share. I would want to. I would really want to.
I'd attempt until I tapped out.
Yeah.
Then from then on, I'd say, here, help me eat this.
Yeah. Yeah, that needs to happen last time. Or next time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Awesome. Good choice. I think that takes us out of food.
Delicious food.
Which means that now we're going to talk about how your mama dresses you funny. I went first last time. You can go first this time.
All right. Well, I found one article of clothing that I hate. Surprising, because every segment that I do for this, it seems to be clothing that I just absolutely can't stand.
Yeah, we're usually so kind to popular fashion trends.
Oh, yeah. Well, a basketball player was wearing this certain clothing item, and it looked god-awful.
As most of them do anymore.
A basketball player by the name of Nick Young, a.k.a. Swaggy P, who is a Los Angeles Lakers point guard.
Is that real? That's
real. He's engaged to Iggy Azalea too.
Ooh, that explains it.
He was wearing on the court the Adidas Yeezy 750 Boosts.
The Boosts.
Now these shoes look like gray Uggs with a strap on them. I would say they're about the same height as Uggs. All gray, no form to them, and there's a strap that goes around the top of your foot, shoelaces, and it just looks god awful.
That sounds god awful.
It looks like you're wearing slippers out on a basketball court. Kanye should not be making shoes.
Or clothes, period.
Yeah, because you see the shirt that goes with them?
Yeah.
It's a white t-shirt with holes in them.
It is.
Like, what? Do you think that goes perfectly with your shoes? Is that how we're representing your shoes, as the holy shirt?
Well, it sounds like what you described was somebody did take material, wrap it around a foot, and just held it together with a strap and laces, which a homeless person would do if they can't get a hold of any sort of suitable shoe, is just take newspaper and bind it around their foot with string.
It's honestly, if I were to take an Ugg boot, cut the top of it, put shoelaces in it, and then take a strap and then put it around the top of my foot.
That's what it looked like.
That's what this is. I don't know how you can even play basketball in them.
It sounds like
the ankle support is awful.
So bad.
You might as well play with no shoes.
Might as well. It's just somebody jukes you once, you're going down, and then they got a big head about it. They're like, oh, and you're like, no, man, these fucking shoes.
No, man, he has no support in those shoes, so it was bound to happen.
You know what these are made of? Cardboard.
You know what this is made of? Koala skin and nothing else.
Nothing else.
There's no support in these.
I mean, if you asked a 5-year-old to design a shoe,
they could come up with better things than that. They can come up with something better than an Ugg sneaker.
I mean, you are a professional athlete. Children look up to you. You're a millionaire. Buy some respectable shoes.
His whole thing is he's Swaggy P. He's got to wear different things. He's got to be different. He's got to show he has swag and has the best clothing.
You play in the NBA. You're a fucking LA Laker.
That should be swag.
That's all you need.
That should be swag enough. You get to play alongside some. Well, not anymore. I'm going to say that whole team is scrap anymore. But you get to play on the team where legends played.
Yeah.
And you're giving it a bad name by wearing Ugg sneakers.
Oh.
And I'm calling them Ugg sneakers because that's what they are.
Yeah, because they're fucking ugly.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm sorry, that was low-hanging fruit.
It was? I'll let you slide on that one.
Oh.
But that is my article of clothing that I hate.
Well, Mine is an article of clothing. The New York Times has a fashion section of their website, and they pose the question, can the turtleneck ever be cool again? And, you know, when I first saw the title, I was like, you know, I always fucking hated turtlenecks, and they always look dorky, and especially big guys such as myself, it doesn't do you any favors. But then it runs down, like, the history of it, and, like, all the different people that have worn them and kind of could rock them. You know, Audrey Hepburn wore one. Johnny Carson could even pull off a nice turtleneck underneath a blazer. So it's a real history of it. And then I start looking back, you know, and I'm pretty sure even a few of the Bonds wore them.
Yeah, I would say actually all of the Bonds at some point have wore a turtleneck.
Because even Daniel Craig rocks it.
A black turtleneck.
Yeah. So I think that you really got to be the right guy.
Yes, because to me, I don't like turtlenecks. Joey Tribbiani couldn't even pull off the turtleneck.
Yeah.
And I thought he was one of the coolest dudes. I mean, even you see, I understand they're doing it for cold weather. You see, like, even NFL players wearing just the turtleneck underneath their jerseys.
Yeah.
Like Aaron Rodgers does that.
Oh, it looks so bad.
It looks awful.
It does.
Like the all-white turtleneck underneath the football jersey.
Yeah.
It was loose, so it didn't even look like it was helping your neck out at all from the cold elements. But
no.
Regardless of that, you have to be... I almost want to say you have to be British to get to wear a turtleneck.
Kind of, it dates you.
Yeah.
And that's what I think whenever I see someone like Aaron Rodgers or Peyton Manning wearing a turtleneck underneath their uniform, is that I would think that you'd be showing me some football players from the 90s.
Oh, yeah.
Like the way that, it's all loose on the arms and looks like it's 2 sizes too big. And
well, we're not going to talk about Peyton Manning's fashion sense anyway. Cause
no.
That's just a whole different
Have you seen
subject.
The shorts that he wears in that new commercial?
Well, and the fact he wears the crew all white socks.
Oh, yeah.
He wears the shorts, and his practice shirt is tucked into his shorts. Super tight. He doesn't even give it any slack. He wears the wristbands on his wrist. I mean, don't get me wrong. He's one of the greatest quarterbacks. But the dude dresses like an old dad.
He does. And I actually had this conversation with Jane. I was like, it blows my mind when I remember that Peyton Manning is still in his 30s.
For the next 5 months?
Yeah. And still in his 30s. It blows my mind because he looks at least 50 and he's a father of 3.
I think at home he wears Jesus sandals.
Jesus sandals and mom jeans.
Mm-hmm.
Like those Carpenter's ones.
And
that
he
are like
wears polos, then he tucks them into his jeans.
Mm-hmm. With a braided belt.
A braided belt and the dad Jesus jeans that have the strap all on them with socks.
And a Nautica white cap.
I don't see him wearing a hat, but if he did,
no,
it'd be there.
It happens. He's got a snapshot into the Manning household.
Jeez.
Either way, but that's an image that turtlenecks invoke.
Unless you're British.
Because
the Bonds, British.
Oh, yeah.
Pulled off turtlenecks.
Even non-Bond British people. You have to have that personality. You have to have that kind of appeal.
Good example, George Clooney.
Oh, God.
He wears turtlenecks
all the time with a nice blazer over top of him.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking rocks
man
it.
right there.
Yeah.
I think Mark Wahlberg wore one too.
Probably.
In Max Payne. It was a black turtleneck.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then a leather jacket over it.
Yeah.
It didn't look half bad.
No.
I think it also has to do with what's your hairstyle with it.
That's true. It's got to be high and tight.
Oh, yeah. You can't have Mark Wahlberg hair of today and wear a turtleneck and pull that off. At that point, you just look like you're ready to kill somebody.
Yeah. Also, like the European mob makes me think of turtlenecks. Like
it's true.
The big furry coats over top of them. So maybe that's something else that kind of ruined it.
Maybe.
But the most notable example right now is Drake.
He somehow pulls it off.
Right?
He somehow pulls it off. I didn't think about it.
So there's no rhyme or reason for the turtleneck.
It might just depend also on the rest of the outfit.
Yeah.
Well, and his also, what was like a gray...
It was like a gray, kind of heather color. It was like wool, kind of baggy.
Like a nice winter sweater turtleneck.
Yeah, with blue jeans and untied boots.
Hopefully not Yeezy boosts.
No, definitely not Yeezy boosts.
He's a smart man.
But, I mean, you look at that and you're like, that makes sense on him. So, yeah, it really depends.
It depends on who you are.
Like, I don't think I could do it.
I wouldn't. I skip right over the turtlenecks when I go to stores.
You would like never even try it.
Nope. I don't want to. I have no desire to.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just skip right over it.
That's fair. What about girls in turtlenecks?
I'd rather a scarf.
There's, like, obviously a con is that you see nothing from neck to...
Which can be no problem. I mean, I understand if it's freezing outside or whatever.
But, like, if they pair it with a nice, like...
You say leggings, I will come across this table and slap you.
No. With a nice skirt, maybe something A-line, with, like, a pair of boots with it, with a heel.
All right.
Kind of like that classic librarian look, kind of. Yeah?
At that point, you're okay.
Yeah.
See, it all depends on the rest of your outfit.
It really depends.
Because if you were just to wear the turtleneck and, like I said, some leggings and some Ugg boots, I'm going to slap the Holy Grail out of you. I will slap you so hard. Because at that point, I will automatically just call you a frittata.
Yeah.
But it all depends on the outfit.
It really depends. So, I mean, I don't think there's anything we can say to help you. If you're deciding whether or not you want to wear a turtleneck, just put it on and see. The turtleneck will tell you.
No, my body will tell me it's not happening.
The turtleneck will let you know whether or not you are fit to wear it. No, I thought it was kind of interesting. So I think that covers fashion, which means a good portion of the rest of this podcast is probably going to be about football because it's time to geek about sports.
That is right.
First and foremost, such a good season for us, for the both of us.
Yeah, for both of my teams, honestly.
Yes. On the college level, Ohio State won.
Beating Notre Dame.
Beat Notre Dame in the Fiesta Bowl. Pretty heartily. I mean, I think we led the whole game by at least a couple scores.
I would say at least by 2 scores.
Yeah. And really, they kind of built up a little bit of steam.
Once Bosa left, I think momentum swung their way just a little bit.
Just a little, but no.
Jump, but
no real threat.
Because we still had an offense that they just could not stop at all.
No. Knowing that we beat them pretty handily, and knowing how the rest of the Big Ten fared, and I think
what an embarrassment.
I think Ohio State and Michigan are the only 2 Big Ten teams that won, weren't they?
No, I think Wisconsin won.
Who did they face?
I could not tell you at this point.
Because
Wisconsin won, Nebraska won, and Minnesota won.
So Michigan State lost. Iowa
got their butt spanked by Stanford.
Yeah. I don't know who else made it in.
I don't know. What that leaves Rutgers and Maryland, and I don't know if they made it into a bowl game or anything like that.
Probably not.
Penn State lost to Georgia.
Yeah.
Purdue, I don't think made it.
I think that's it. So both Michigans, Ohio State, Penn State, Iowa, and Minnesota, and Wisconsin.
Yeah.
That's, 5 or 6 teams? That sounds about right.
Ohio State, Michigan, Minnesota, Nebraska, and Wisconsin all won.
Oh. So we only had 2 teams lose?
I guess so, but it was pretty bad losses. No, we had 3.
3. Iowa,
Michigan State,
and
Penn State.
Hey, still. I'll take that.
Yeah, but the beatings that they got, though,
yeah,
kind of makes up for, Big Ten didn't look so great.
Well, which really leads me to my question, though. Knowing how well Alabama did against Michigan State, which Michigan State was the reason that we weren't in the playoffs, had Ohio State been there, could we have done better? Or should we have been there in the first place?
I think we should have been there in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Because, come on, we won the title last year.
Yeah.
We only lost 1 game.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if we were in there, we would have kept it close. I'm not saying we would have won, because I don't want to jump that far.
Yeah.
But I think we would have at least scored. Michigan State couldn't even do that.
Mm-hmm.
I think we would have kept it close. Because the only thing they had was trying to stop their running back, who won the Heisman.
Can't remember his name, but yeah.
It should have been Christian McCaffrey from Stanford anyway. But that's the only thing. Just like last year, their only weapon was Amari Cooper.
Which we shut him down.
Shut down. So I think we could have held on. I think we would have done a lot better than Michigan State.
Easily, both Ohio State and Notre Dame could have ended up in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Both teams were...
Notre Dame, though, injuries plagued them to the point where I don't know what they could have done.
Yeah. For most of the season, they were riding pretty high.
Oh, yeah.
I think they remained in the top 4 for a few weeks.
Until they lost to somebody. I forget who they lost to.
But only one play separated Ohio State and Michigan State.
Right.
Interchangeably in the top 4. And I do believe, too, that as proven last season, if we had made that one play against Michigan State and we had been the ones to face them, it would have been a totally different game.
Oh, yeah.
And especially if we could have handled ourselves against Alabama again, I believe that there's not a single team of the other 2 that we couldn't have beat.
I don't think Clemson honestly could hang with Ohio State.
No, other than a couple years ago.
Well, that's when they had Sammy Watkins, who the Browns should have got and did not do.
Yeah.
But we just couldn't stop Sammy Watkins. We didn't have a full team, the team that we had last year and this year anyway.
That's true.
This senior class had, 50 wins?
Yes.
Which is a record. No other FBS school has done that at all.
50 wins, 4 losses. Went 4-0 against Michigan.
Yeah.
Won national championship. I think they probably won all their bowl games.
I don't know, because I think that class also faced
Clemson.
Because I think the year before the national title year, we faced Clemson. I'm not 100% though.
Yeah, I can't remember either. Offhand.
But you're going to see most of the senior class in the NFL.
Oh yeah,
that's for sure.
Yeah, so many of them. It seems like every day more and more seniors from Ohio State are declared. Well, juniors.
You know who they're not talking about though? That's going into the draft, but they're not giving him a projection or anything. Is Braxton Miller?
Yeah.
I don't hear a projection as to where they think he will go or anything like that. I mean, yeah, we got Bosa, who's a projected number 1 pick overall.
Mm-hmm.
You got Ezekiel, who's projected around 15.
Yeah.
You got all these other people that are have their projections. Where's Braxton?
I've heard more about Cardale than I've heard about Braxton, which is ridiculous.
Because Cardale's not going to make it.
He's not. And I don't know what in his mind, other than maybe just accepting the fact that
he will never start.
He won't start again.
Transfer at that point.
It's got to be better than going into the draft and
failing.
Because you had 3 good games, maybe 4.
No, he had 3 good games. The rest, he won, but they were sloppy.
Well, but you still had help from Barrett.
Well, yeah, you had help from Barrett because once you got to the red zone, they threw in Barrett.
Yeah.
Which doesn't look good on your resume whatsoever.
He's a good athlete, and I think that, he
just needs more years.
If he ends up on a team with a really good quarterbacks coach, someone that believes in him and will train him and work with him, I think he's such a raw talent.
Mm-hmm.
He is. I mean, he has a hell of an arm. He's able to run the ball. Someone needs to work with him and give him the time. And
hopefully whatever NFL team decides to take a chance with him will give him the coach to sit down, learn the playbook, do the Aaron Rodgers effect, sit down for 4 years, learn.
Yeah.
And then see how that goes. Because other than that, he's not making it.
No. Well, and maybe that's why we're not hearing about Braxton Miller, is he only had 1 season as a wide receiver. Granted, he made
catches and
a handful of good plays and highlights, but not used nearly as much as you thought they would use him in that position.
And I didn't like when they used him in the Wildcat formation.
No.
Because he can't throw. His shoulder's not right yet for him to throw.
Mm-hmm.
And even when the Wildcat happened, he could barely do anything with it.
Well, no. Well, I don't think... maybe I'm wrong. I don't think they ever once in the Wildcat formation had him even throw.
Because he can't.
Yeah.
So the defense is like, all right, he's going to run. We'll see you later.
Yeah, and when the fucking Browns would do that, when they had Josh Cribbs and they would throw in a Wildcat play every once in a while, I'm like, it doesn't work if there's no threat of throwing.
Right. If you cannot throw, the defense knows this.
You're just running.
Right. But, I mean, I'd like to see Braxton go somewhere and start and do whatever. I just don't know where or anything because they don't talk about it.
No.
It's more about Bosa, who he better not go to the Browns.
I honestly, I hope he doesn't either.
And then,
I really hope he doesn't.
And then you got Elliott, who's in the middle of that draft.
Which is an interesting place.
I have projected he will end up... I'm thinking a Miami Dolphin is my guess. They need a running back.
Yeah.
The Dolphins are about maybe 10 or something like that on the draft board.
Probably.
So if it were to happen that way, he's right in the middle of going there. Unless someone above that really needs a running back.
Yeah.
Like the Giants need a running back.
I could see him go in there. I mean, they've kind of had a history of, powerful backs. That,
right.
Ahmad Bradshaw, Tiki Barber,
right,
was a hell of an athletic back. I'd love to see him as a Giant.
I wouldn't mind seeing him and Odell Beckham.
Oh my God!
I'm sorry, change quarterbacks. Eli is not the answer in that area.
Eli is the turtleneck of NFL quarterback. I mean, in the sense that he has such spectacular games and moments. I mean, for the love of God, he beat the Patriots twice in the Super Bowl.
I almost want to say, are those flukes now? I mean...
I don't know, and that's the thing. Because how many other teams can say that they've done that?
And then they go back to the regular season and do awful.
And I don't get it.
I think it was, last year? He held the record for most interceptions thrown in that season.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I don't either.
But you got two great receivers in Victor Cruz and Odell Beckham. When Victor Cruz is healthy, though, that's when he's going to help you.
Yeah.
You just need a good running back to help you out. So I can see Zeke going there.
No, absolutely. I can get behind that.
So,
or I'd say a dream of mine would be that the Vikings would pick him up and train him as the successor of AP.
But with the Vikings being so far back in the pick order, now that they made the playoffs,
well, it won't happen.
He won't be sitting there anymore. So,
no.
You guys have to rely on a different running back if you want to go that route. Which I don't know who else is out there. I haven't been paying attention to what other running backs are.
We got.
Oh, you got the Alabama running back. I think he might be coming out. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
I don't know who else. Oh, the LSU running back, is he eligible to come out?
I really haven't heard.
We'll just have to see, I guess.
Yeah. So since we're talking about the NFL, Ohio State won, and that's awesome. But at least for the first time in our friendship, and very few times in my adult life paying attention to the NFL, the Vikings are going to the playoffs.
They are. They beat
the Bengals are going to the playoffs.
They are fifth straight year.
And you guys took the division, right?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And Vikings took the division after last night, which I, to my dismay this morning, stayed up and watched the end of that game.
Oh, I watched the entire game yesterday.
Oh, my God.
And oddly, I think the first time ever I was rooting against the Packers.
Really? Well, that's what we do. That's what we do.
I have never rooted against the Packers ever because I like Jordy Nelson, but he was not playing.
He wasn't playing.
When I was a little kid, huge Brett Favre fan, so I like the Packers. But he's not playing anymore.
No.
So I ultimately just said, you know what? I hope the Vikings win this.
I mean, even in my own mind, they were underdogs.
And plus, you're so used to seeing the Packers on top.
Yeah.
It was nice for a change to see another team just take the reins.
To know that at the very least in that division, someone else can do it.
Right.
Because there's no reason that the Bears or Lions can't do it. They just don't.
They
for whatever reason.
We know why the Bears. His name is Jay Cutler.
Yeah.
But Lions, I don't see an excuse for them.
No, and there's not. So, yeah, to know that, there can be someone else whose colors aren't green and yellow that can win that division and make it into the playoffs.
Right.
And the fact that the Vikings had to do it at Lambeau.
Right.
And, I mean, they were going to make the playoffs regardless, which, honestly, the only saving grace to us losing last night would have been the fact that we play Washington.
Yeah.
Instead of Seattle, and that would have been much better.
Both teams are on fire, though.
I feel Washington didn't whoop our ass 38-6 or whatever the hell that final score was. So, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. And, yeah, you guys have made it 5 years straight. But
5 straight years. But my second team, the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah.
I'm excited for them.
So, we'll
going 15-1.
Mm-hmm.
Number 1 seed. You get the first round bye.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
We'll get to that in a second. Because, with your Bengals, how far do you see them going?
I'm already upset they have to play the Steelers.
Yeah.
In the wild card.
Yeah.
And we might not get Andy Dalton back.
Which I guess doesn't make sense. Why are they playing the Steelers in the wild card?
Because the Broncos won.
Mm-hmm.
The Broncos jumped ahead to the number 1 seed.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Patriots fell to the number 2 seed, which then pushed us to number 3, having to face the last seed. So we have to face whoever the last wild card spot or the last seed of the playoffs is, which happened to be the Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
Jets, you had one job, and you couldn't do it.
You had to let Rex Ryan be right once, didn't you?
Right.
You had to
to give him hope or something. So now we play the Steelers without our starting quarterback. Probably. We're not sure yet.
Yeah.
And I'm scared about it. I just want to win one round, Frank. I want to win one round. 5 straight years and you can't win one round? Oh, it's heartbreaking.
I mean, you guys are playing phenomenal football. You are.
We are.
But there's something about the Steelers. There's something about them that it doesn't. It could be the Ravens. It could be the Bengals. It doesn't. I'm not going to say the Browns because there's never an opportunity for them to do this to the Browns.
No.
But they have that way of...
They'll be down and you think, cool, they're out. And then you blink your eyes and boom, they're right back.
Yeah.
And it scares the shit out of me. Like, luckily the game is in Cincinnati for this wild card. But still the fact that we have A.J. McCarron.
How was he done?
He's okay. He's not Andy Dalton this year. I can't say Andy Dalton in the past because Andy Dalton in the past has not been the strongest thing in the world. But he's okay.
So he's on par with Andy Dalton any other year.
Any other year. I would say he's, and I can't say of this week because that's a bad example. I would say he was up there with Brock Osweiler. Except for, of course, this week with the, what was that, like 3 interceptions or something like that before he got benched.
A fumble or something.
Yeah, before he got benched. But the previous weeks, I would say A.J. McCarron and Brock Osweiler were about the same. Mm-hmm. So he'll get you possibly points.
It's not going to look pretty, but
won't
he'll...
be pretty. Plus, I don't know what happened to our running game. We can't do really anything with our running game so much anymore.
Really? I thought I saw a couple highlights from...
But then when it really mattered, we could not gain yards, and I didn't understand it. So, to answer your question, I really just want to win one round.
If you can get past the Steelers, how do you think your chances are against the rest of the AFC?
If we get past the Steelers and then we have Andy Dalton back, I think we can make it at least to the AFC title game. As long as everybody else is doing well. Like the receivers are doing great. We got our running game back.
Yeah.
We got all of that back that we were doing the first, 8 weeks when we went 8-0.
Oh, yeah.
If we can play like that, we can at least make it to the AFC title game.
So, I don't suppose that the Patriots and Broncos will face each other, will they? I imagine one of them will probably face the Texans.
The Texans will face the Chiefs.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Because the Broncos and Patriots have a first week bye. And then they will play the winners of the wild card. So, like, Broncos will get, I think it's between the Steelers and Bengals then at that point, and the Patriots will get between the Texans and Chiefs.
Yeah, that's rough. I mean, believe me, I feel the same way in the NFC. Because, I mean, your choices are either Tom Brady and the Patriots, which do magical...
Even with as many injuries as they have, they still know how to win.
I don't know.
Oh, and they're supposed to get most of their key players back now for the playoffs here.
So you either have them, or you have a Broncos team
with Peyton Manning
that
back.
now has a pissed off, healthy Peyton Manning.
Nothing more dangerous than that.
and Kansas City's really hot right now.
What, they won 10 in a row?
Yeah.
They went from, 1-5 to winning just 10. Then you got, of course, Steelers, who are waking up.
Yeah.
And you got I can't say anything about the Texans.
No. Just assume that they're out.
Sorry, J.J. Watt. I like you, but your team's not going to make it that far.
You have 2 former Browns quarterbacks as your only options. You're not making it too far.
You're not going to make it that far.
Although, did you see their picture together?
With the championship hats?
Yeah.
I had to laugh at that one.
I mean, come on.
That's beautiful.
So, all right. And my Vikings, I love them. I don't have... Facing the Seahawks at home. Home is a good advantage because we've played really well at home. I think we've only lost 1 or 2 games at home.
How's Peterson's back, though?
Peterson's good. He came back in the fourth quarter.
I just didn't know if he still had back problems or...
No, I think that he just needed to stretch it out a little bit. I think that really the only questionable player we may have is Joseph Lindahl, the defensive tackle.
And what about your... I want to say he's a receiver. I don't know. He had the fake punt.
Oh,
he ran pretty far and...
Yeah, like Thielen
or
something like that.
He's pretty good from what I just saw yesterday.
I had no idea who he was.
Right? I'm like, well, who's this guy?
Yeah.
Fake punt, and then he got like a pass, or no, not even a pass. He got like a jet sweep that ran all the way. I was like, all right, I don't know who this guy is. And I guess they said Minnesota loves him.
I see why.
He is.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's healthy because he went out hurt.
I mean, if he's healthy, cool. If not, I mean, he's lower on the depth chart, so I could live without that. As long as that defense is healthy. Because that was the only reason that we kind of hit that skid is because we had 6 starters out.
I'm going to tell you something. You know in the games when they like name players, like the starters will name off who they are, where they're from?
Yeah.
I didn't recognize one single person on the Vikings defense.
None? Really?
It seemed like a blur to me, like a bunch of names, and I'm like, I don't remember you. Who are you? There's always one team you can name one defensive player out of. Mm-hmm. I can't do it with the Vikings.
They are really young. They are a very young defense. I mean, Harrison Smith is only in his first or second year. He's a hell of a safety. Xavier Rhodes, cornerback, he's 1 or 2 years. Eric Hendricks is a rookie. Anthony Barr is only in his first or second year. It's a really young team, and which is why I'm really excited about it. 'Cause, I mean, you have that many young starters on a defense. You're going to be that good for a while.
Now the same question goes to you. How far do you think the Vikings can go?
If we had lost to Green Bay, I would have said that we would probably be out first round.
Facing who again?
Probably Washington.
Okay.
I think at that point. Because I think as it stood, with Green Bay winning the division, we would have faced Washington. But because we won, they're facing them. Second chance at home against Seahawks, I have a better feeling. I think that we're really starting to get hot at a good time.
Russell's on fire too, though.
He is, but I don't know. They've showed a lot of weaknesses this season.
Oh, yeah. Injuries hurt them too,
yeah.
And Legion of Boom isn't the Legion of Boom anymore.
No. So I like the way that we're playing as a team. I mean, you saw a lot of passion in the way that we played against the Packers. I think we'll keep that going. So I think that we have a shot against Seahawks. Beyond that, I don't like our chances against Carolina.
Who's your Super Bowl pick right now? Who's going and who's winning?
I hate to root against my own team, but I would say Panthers, Broncos.
I like it.
Yeah.
I actually was going to say either Broncos Panthers or Broncos Cardinals. Because Cardinals are that team. They're tough, but Carson's been known to choke too. So
that's my thing.
I don't like Carson, for the record, for all you listeners. I can't stand him.
For obvious reasons.
Right.
The Cardinals are a team that just... Something in my mind says that it's too much of a fluke for them to win the whole thing.
Injuries have hurt them, too. They don't have the secondary anymore.
No.
On that defense. The Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu, is gone with an ACL.
Yeah.
I couldn't even name you who their running back, Chris Johnson.
Is it Chris?
I think it's still Chris Johnson, unless he's hurt too.
Or they still have Hightower, I think, as well.
I don't know about that.
Is Patrick Peterson hurt?
They have Andre Ellington, but I think he's battling injuries too. They have Patrick Peterson.
Yeah.
On defense. He's still healthy.
Which might be their only...
That's their saving grace. And like I said, Carson's been known to choke in big games.
Yeah.
So I'll go Broncos, Panthers. With Panthers winning. And I'm not just saying that because they're my second team. It's the way they play.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what, they find a way.
Yeah. I would like to see them win one. I really would.
I need Cam to win one.
Yeah.
And Ted Ginn.
Oh, absolutely. What? That was Panthers. Not Panthers, Eagles. Who did the Panthers play in the Super Bowl?
Oh, who was it? Was it Patriots?
Yes. I think so. I think it might have been. Yeah, I'd like to see my dream matchup, and I'm sorry, my dream matchup would be a rematch Super Bowl between the Vikings and the Steelers. And we win. That would make all my dreams come true.
Against the Steelers?
Against the Steelers.
I don't want to see the Steelers get there. Never again.
As long as they lose there.
And the Panthers did face the Patriots in 2003.
Yeah. That could be a rematch of that.
Could be. I don't see why it couldn't be.
No.
But my dream Super Bowl, I'm not going to say the Bengals and Panthers. Because as much of a dream, yeah, you'd have to choose. And I can't do that.
Yeah.
So I would like it to be the Bengals. And I'm going to say the Cardinals.
Really?
With the Bengals winning, just so we could shove it down Carson Palmer's face. And say, look what you left.
Look what you did, you little jerk.
Look what you left now.
That would be the weirdest. Weirdest Super Bowl matchup.
Honestly, as much as I love the Bengals, the day they make the Super Bowl, I would be just weirded out about it. Like, how did you do that? Like, what happened?
Yeah. You don't belong here.
Right, what?
Yeah, and on anyone the Broncos end up facing, I instinctively would want to vote for Peyton Manning to win.
Just so then he could retire on the high note?
Yeah, because he needs to retire.
He does. I hope he doesn't show up next year because then I'll just start feeling bad for the guy.
Yeah.
Every time he gets sacked. Like, even when he got sacked, just...
Yeah, he took a fucking hard hit, too.
And I was like, is he getting back up?
That's a legitimate worry.
Like, I fear for his life.
No, and again, he seems so much older than he is.
He does. I almost want to think he's like a 60-year-old man out there.
Yeah.
Trying to sling the ball.
Like, when Brett Favre was playing, like, he seemed old, but he seemed... like tough enough to be able to handle it.
Right.
Something about Peyton Manning seems so fragile.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why.
Because Favre at least had the build.
Yeah.
That, like, yes, I can take a hit. I can run. Peyton, he's got like that frail little body. He has no defined muscles. He's
like lanky.
Right. Like, you don't ever see any biceps from the guy.
No.
So it's kind of like just this lanky kid that you're afraid will just get hit once and everything's done for him.
I hope the Vikings do well. Maybe they could be my fluke team. I don't think this season they deserve to win a Super Bowl. It would be nice.
Before Adrian's done, I'd like to see something.
I think that if they can keep everyone that they have, maybe even build on a little bit, maybe get like another wide receiver or something.
Or a nice back. Well, no, you guys have a decent backup running back.
Yeah. Jared McKinnon.
Yeah, I heard he was really good.
Or Asiata.
Yeah, so you guys don't need a running back.
Maybe a couple of O-linemen. Shore that up a little bit. But I think that if we can keep everyone stays healthy, I believe the next season we can make a legitimate run for Super Bowl. I don't see why not.
Yeah.
And yeah, I would see either one of your teams making it. I hope. I have more faith in the Panthers.
I hope. hope one of them makes it because I will just enjoy that regardless.
Yeah.
So
I think it's going to be good. A lot, like the good teams that are in it. And there's even just a couple of, I think really the Texans are the only shitty team that made it this year.
Yeah, before I would have said whichever team came out of that Redskins division would
Yeah.
have been the shitty team. But the Redskins woke up at the right time.
Yeah.
That I'm like, they're not a shitty team anymore.
No.
So, yeah, the Texans are looking like that shitty team that squeaked in.
Yeah.
Because the rest are good teams.
Actually good. It's going to be a good playoff scene. Yeah. I want to apologize. This wasn't football-heavy podcast, but you have no idea how happy we are right now.
And the thing is, that was actually going to be my sports topic, was talking about the playoffs, so it all just blends together. So
I'm so riding the high of last night.
It was a good game.
I can't believe we beat the fucking Packers.
I even had to laugh when Aaron Rodgers threw the ball to the sideline just to throw it away, and the Vikings defensive player caught it with one hand and then just dropped it as if he was doing a mic drop. I laughed so hard on my couch. I was like, that is perfect.
And he tried to pull the Hail Mary shit.
He kept trying.
Didn't work this time. Mm-mm. We're not the Lions. You're not going to get that shit.
I think Aaron is really missing Jordy.
Which is crazy because you have
Jordy Nelson,
other quality wide receivers.
But they're just not catching the ball for some reason.
I don't think he's really trying to get it to him.
I'm telling you, he's missing Jordy. That's what it is. Just like I think Tom Brady is missing Julian Edelman for that slot receiver, just the little 5-yard passes.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers is missing Jordy.
You gotta realize that you have more weapons than that. No, I'm not gonna give that to him. That's a shitty excuse. You're Aaron Rodgers. You're the Packers. That's do true. Better.
You are Aaron Rodgers.
I told my dad, I said, this is a game of the most uninterested quarterbacks versus one another. Like, Teddy Bridgewater shows zero emotion the whole time.
And Aaron Rodgers, I always say, looks bored.
He does.
He doesn't smile. He's just bored back there.
Like, I don't know what's up with those two. All right. Well, we will... we'll stop talking about football for 2 seconds.
Because I'm sure the next one will go right into it.
Yeah. Probably next week we'll have either really good or really bad things to talk about in that aspect.
Or half and half.
Yeah. I mean, you're set either way.
I'm set either way, but I'm still going to be so upset, like, say, if the Bengals lose, but the Panthers win, or vice versa.
Mostly because of the Steelers.
One, because it's the Steelers. I will be so upset about that one. I can't say anything about the Panthers because they're on a bye week, so by the time we record next time, they still wouldn't have even played yet.
That's true. I think I might be sad.
So I don't know what I'm gonna be.
Yeah.
If the next recording I sound a little pissed off, you'll know what happened.
It's because Andy Dalton did not play.
I'm relying on an Alabama quarterback. That's upsetting.
Which, unfortunately, kids, means that we slide into our final segment of the podcast, which is to See You in Hell. And we have a particularly interesting story, which, up front, the article that we found, they openly admit that they haven't really found a major news outlet that's like confirmed this story. So it could be complete bullshit, but because a lot of places are reporting it, we're going to assume it actually happened.
And because of the nature of the story anyway, I don't care if it's true or not. The fact that someone either made this up is just amazing to me.
Yeah, it's fucking hilarious in a horrible way. So, as happens every time, we choose a particularly horrible news story, and then we each select a celebrity voice that we read it in to try and make it a little funnier. But this week it's kind of unfair because it's already funny.
Yeah. So the impression will not be that great.
No, but it doesn't matter.
Because I'm going to tell you this great, great story.
So first up, we'll choose who Bryan's going to use. Bryan will be reading the story in the style of Cleveland Brown from Family Guy. Which we just watched an episode of that, so you should be dialed in.
I don't know if I'm dialed in. Oh, boy. Hey, y'all. Okay.
That's good.
Should I just read the headline or just go right into it? And
I guess we should probably figure out who's reading what. Because there's not much to read.
Oh, you have the same article as I do.
Yeah.
Oh, where'd you get it from? The same
Dude Comedy?
Dude Comedy.
All right. So read the first line and the first paragraph.
What is the first line of the first paragraph to you?
After the picture. After the creepy looking picture. So yeah.
After that.
So the first
the
line.
Quote, the quote, and then the first paragraph.
Then the paragraph. And then I'll read the next quote and the next paragraph. And we'll just switch back and forth.
Okay.
So, and our virtual wheel. Oh. And a favorite of a few people, Professor Snape will be joining you.
Cleveland Brown and Professor Snape, the unlikely duo.
Like peanut butter
and lamb.
And shitting out of your dick.
All right. So do you want me to go ahead and start this off?
Just go ahead.
Do we want to tell them the headline first or just go?
Yeah, go ahead and read the headline.
I'm just going to read the headline and then I'll do the impression. So the headline is Man Murders Friend After Their Balls Touch During Threesome. All right, so first is a quote that a man, Curtis Mayfield, says. There's only so much a man can take, and dick or balls ain't one of them. Curtis Mayfield murdered his best friend after an incident involving him, one of his friends, and Laquifa Thompson. Laquifa and the two men were in the middle of having a threesome when Curtis told his friend it was time to switch positions.
And this is what Curtis said. I switch, from mouth to butt. He went left when he should have went right. And next thing you know, we had ball to ball. Curtis was so enraged by what happened, he grabbed his gun and shot his friend while screaming out, I ain't with that gay shit.
Curtis feels no remorse on the death of his friend and claims it was his fault. If he would have never touched my balls, he would still be alive.
Can you read it one more time?
It was his fault. If he would have never touched my balls, he would still be alive. You're what the Spaniards call el terrible.
We have reached out to the source of the article, Urban Leak, hoping that they can provide some cold, hard proof that the three-way really went down like this. When you reverse image search Curtis's picture, all you can find is this story linked over and over again on the web. We have our doubts about the legitness of this story, but large news outlets are reporting it, so we will believe in something.
Okay, that story is weird.
Three-way. Man murders friend after their balls touch during threesome.
Yo, man, I ain't a part of that gay shit.
The dialogue's too perfect. And that's the only reason
Yo, if he hadn't touched my balls, he'd still be alive.
There's only so much a man can take, and dick or balls ain't one of them. It's two things.
What happened with the girl? Did she just sit there while then he pulled out the gun and said, I ain't part of that gay shit, and shoot me? What?
I don't know. I mean,
she just sat there.
I'm saying, literally, she's furniture in this article.
Pretty much.
She's just something that was sitting there and watched the whole. I don't. Do you think it's real?
It's too weird not to be real,
right?
Because anybody could have really made that up, but the dialogue, and just the story of it, it has to be real. I want it actually to be real because it is so weird of a story.
You are the David Duchovny of murderous sex stories. You want to believe. The truth is out there.
It was real in my mind.
So I'll let you guys decide for yourselves. That article's on dudecomedy.com, which I know is a very reputable source, but it has been picked up. I've heard about it elsewhere too. So look for it. It's really strange. And again, didn't need our help to be funny.
No.
Because murder in a threesome because of gay shit is always funny. Which unfortunately means that we wrap up for this episode. Which, double checking, my mic was on the whole time.
Good. So
we should be good. I will not be a frittata again, at least when it comes to the podcast. You can find us on YouTube, searching Bang Bang Tang Podcast. We are on Audio Mac, which is an audio-only feed. Again, Bang Bang Tang Podcast. We are on Twitter at Bang Bang Tang Pod. You can find us at our other home, creaturestole.mytwinkie.com, where hopefully we should have our third episode posted up on that very soon. Thank you for those of you that have kept listening. If you've come back after our atrocious third episode and you still listen to this, thank you very, very much. We hope you guys had a wonderful holiday, wonderful new year, and probably give it, a few more episodes, a couple more months using this format, and maybe eventually we'll shake a couple things up in the new year, keep things a little fresh, and see what works out best. But until that time, find us on the tweets, on the YouTubes, and on the Facebooks. I'm Frank.
I'm Bryan.
Till next time.
Bye, y'all.